my helmet, you'll see it's pure carbon black because I figured out that the paint was 80 grams. So I chopped out the paint because 1 kilogram of our body weight was 300ths of a second per lap slower. That's 2 seconds of race time. Very often the difference between winning and losing. I chopped Swiss holes in my seat. Now I'm already past 100 grams and I stopped cycling because the leg muscles are one of the heaviest parts of our body. My doctor said you'll probably drop at least 500 grams. By the time I got to Suzuka, cumulatively, I had dropped 1 kilo and I was on pole by 200ths. And that's what got me the world championship.
Whoa. Now, this guy, his name is Nico Rosberg. Like, and it's just crazy how like sports people will go at extreme measures to be able to achieve, like, to win, you know? So they will cut out weight, change technique, be able to like even change the equipment that they use, like find like proper materials that are lighter or that have better tensile strength, whatever it is. They actually have to figure out a way, like use science to be able to push their bodies and to push this sport way, way further. Like, so this guy, like he said, dude decides to stop cycling. He will cycle, like, I believe that was his hobby. He stopped cycling because he discovers he was probably gaining calves and all that, and that muscle, that's weight. You're carrying weight. So he stops that, and all of a sudden he's shaving weight. He even paint, like, who will think about paint? Who will think about paint? This dude thinks about the paint and is like, yeah, this is 80 grams. I'm actually going to shave this. Now, today, I want to go through like extreme measures people have gone through in order to like achieve like crazy results. So we'll start with swimming. Here's another video about swimming, and then you'll see what I mean. Oh, I seem not to be having audio, which is weird. Anyway, so when it comes to swimming, majority of swimmers do this before their major races. Why? Because like the arms and legs, if they do have hair, that causes them to have drag. And because this tiny little drag can cause them to like be slower, these people shave. They fully shave and make sure that they're clean, no hair, and they can go and they can go. This, it's not like that thing that changes the entire game. It's not like, oh yeah, if you're just hairy today and then you cut out, like you shave your hair, tomorrow you're all of a sudden winning medals. That's actually not the case, but it gives you an extra advantage. If you remember, like Rosberg, the video we watched, the guy in F1, shaving just a little bit here, a little bit there, like changing the paint, stopping to cycle, like putting holes in the seat, like you're saving grams here, grams there, and all of a sudden you're winning a championship. So, like, I'm not saying that shaving hair actually makes you win championship, but it contributes to you winning a championship. So here's actually a study that I saw from the National Library of Medicine that cutting down hair, like influence of body hair removal on psychological responses during breaststroke swimming. So like they did actually a study on people swimming and all that, and they figured out that hair that you actually have influences it. Like I said, it works, right? But it's not like that big differentiating factor where if you actually do this, you're done. You're all of a sudden winning. So here are two swimmers that have won medals, right? And they have been shaving. They actually say it out loud that, yeah, we do shave and all that. And they have won medals. Like this, she is Katie Ledecky, if I'm pronouncing her name right. And this is Caleb Dressel. These people won. They fully won. And they do shave. So yes, if you are a swimmer or you're starting to swim, also start shaving, it might help. It might actually help. But there's this other guy. I've fully forgotten his name. Actually, no. His name is Mark Spitz. This dude had the biggest mustache, right? Just to prove that hair influences but doesn't influence that much. In 1970, was it 1970? Let me look at actually my notes. Da, 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 da. Uh, mm-hmm, uh, 1972. He won 7 gold medals in 1972 with the biggest mustache ever. So yeah, shaving helps, but not that much. Also, in 1970, I doubt people were also shaving their arms to swim. So yeah, that could have changed the dynamics if that was happening. But yeah, biggest mustache still won. So it's not like a given, but it helps. It fully helps. Now, on to the next sport. And this is cycling, right? So I really liked this video I found of like somebody going downhill, and you can see like how fast like they're actually going. Look at that. Like just going downhill and you're cycling, you're still cycling, like you're just going and going and going and like cutting corners and all, and this is downhill. For this rest, the day before, they had rest going up, if I'm not wrong. So this is just them going down and going down. And it's so crazy because like when you think about road cycling, it's so different because the bike that you're using, it's very aerodynamic, but your body, that's what's punching through the air. So what you have to change majority of the times is your body. So these guys, people who are doing cycling, they figure out how to like be aerodynamic at all, like fully change how they're doing. Okay, the materials for the bikes have already changed. By this point, they are already better and all that. But they figure out that if the helmet is shaped this way, if the bike uses this kind of materials, if I position my body in this specific way, I can go through the air much better. If you were to put this guy in a wind tunnel, you will be able to see how his posture is and his technique is so that he actually does better in races. I'll show you another video. Like this guy, this just proves that the more aerodynamic you are, the better. Like if we as humans were shaped as an arrow, I don't think we would even be doing cycling because that wouldn't be a sport because like we'd be so efficient. Anyway, look at this guy. Look at him go. See how just changing how the shape that you actually get to be in. It's you are the if you are doing road cycling, you are the inhibitor. It's your body. It's how it is. Now, here's the thing. So many people have done so many things. They have changed their technique. They have gone to wind labs to be able to figure out how their technique is and how to improve them. And they figured out so many things until they figured out how to change their body shape in order to be more aerodynamic. So this was actually banned this year, 2026. And I'll read it for you. So this is the front pocket band. So the core rule is simple and slightly surreal. So from 1st of July 2026, a racing's jersey pockets have to be on the rear, that is on the back of the government, and that's it. Reason being is there's exactly one okay, for front, there's exactly one front exception, a pocket designed solely to hold the radio for communication. So which teams actually do need, because communication. Anyway, so to understand why they had to ban this is because uh people who were cycling figured out that they could carry, like, they always carry snacks, right? They do carry snacks so that, yeah, you can get some energy here and there, just the same way they do carry water. But imagine, I'm not saying this is the case, but imagine putting in, like, in your pockets burgers, Subway subs, and the likes. Yeah, they probably don't do that, but like putting snacks that you can't actually eat, right? So like the study that was done by UCI observed that several riders were wearing jerseys featuring front internal pockets containing nutritional products that were generally not consumed because they were extremely difficult. Yeah, your burgers, you're out here carrying peanut butter and J, just ready to cycle. You definitely won't be eating that. So this is why it got banned. So if you look at this is where they will put in all the snacks and all that, and it will change their body shape. So all of a sudden, you've changed your body shape, and it caused an aerodynamic fairing because of, like, you changing your body shape. And this goes back to, remember this? You being more aerodynamic. All these sports people are trying to do is just figure out the best way to actually be faster, to be for the sport that you're playing in. You're just trying to figure out, how can I be better? How can I, yeah, be the winner and continue winning? So I'm not saying that the snacks cause that, but as you can see, they cause an aerodynamic fairing, and because of that, go banned. So now this has to be at the back, right? So because if it is at the back, if you need your nutrients and all that, them being at the back, you can still access them, but it doesn't give you an advantage over others by changing your body shape so that you're much faster or you break the wind better. So if you look at the image on the right, this is now what they use. This is very little, and you're only supposed to, so this comes to the back and the radio just goes to the front, and that's it. That is it. I'm telling you, people are crazy. Now, guess what the next sport is? I'll let you watch and then you'll figure it out. All right. So ski jumping. And where would people cheat? If you were actually to think about it, where would people cheat? How do you cheat in such a game? It's not cheating per se, but how do you become more efficient? One will think, first, your bodysuit. Your bodysuit needs to be more aerodynamic, right? So you're using better materials and materials that can cut through the wind better. Tick. What's the next thing? You need, like your skis, better material, right? So that they're lighter and they don't cause you to, gravity is still always there, drops you down. So that works. But what else? Your position, your technique. You need to be like in a specific position that allows you to glide through the air. You don't want to fall so quickly. You want to go farther, right? Yes. But then people figured out it's actually simple. If I'm lighter, I go farther. So if you compare 1990s and early 2000s, the incentive was to actually become lighter, extremely lighter, so that you actually get to win. So people are optimizing their weight because your skills are already good, your technique is already good, your bodysuit is everything is A1. The only inhibiting factor is your weight. That is the only variable that you can change. So people start dropping their weights. Like they're just going down, they're just going down, they're just going down. Now, in 2004, FIS changed the rules, right? So they believe this is the governing body. And they say that they don't want a scenario where a jumper's BMI is too low. So if your BMI is too low, you cannot perform, right? So, and I think BMI is a calculation based on height and weight because these guys were optimizing for body fat and weight. So what they figured out, let's go for just BMI. And if your BMI is below a certain point, did I actually write that? I believe it was 21. Below 21, I'll need to confirm that. You can probably write it in the comments, like if you figure that one out. But the idea is if your BMI is below a specific point, we're not allowing you. Why? Because we don't want the sport to push for people to actually just lose weight drastically in order to win, right? So this rule was for the betterment of the health of the players and the people who will ski. Yes, this is the research and the article that was posted in 2006, how being underweight in ski jumping became like that variable solution to being able to like go and win. Anyway, so that's what I figured out today. Like I learned something new today about the extremes people would actually go to be able to win in sports. Anyway, that's it for today. See you on the next one. Subscribe.